1 second. All right, folks, let us talk about this awful, awful stuff that's happening in Washington that you just hate to see it. It's just absolutely dreadful. And has to be disavowed. It's not acceptable. Standing in Pelosi's seat is never the answer, apparently. And all the other good stuff that you're supposed to say at this time. I was waiting to hop on Periscope with Cernovich, but he's I can't seem to get a hold of him, so I don't know what happened. So I'm just going to do this stream. I think his point, from what his tweets had said, is that we're going to see the Patriot Act on steroids. And in my view, this was happening regardless. In 2016, they were ginning up what they could do to censor social media. Fake news was a Hillary term. What are some historical examples of secession and countries splitting apart to support national divorce? Czechoslovakia and Brexit are very easy ones. Sweden and Norway, another very easy one. So there had been talk when the election started. It wasn't even done. Retribution, retribution, retribution. Whenever there's civil unrest of any kind, unless it's the kind that is corporate sanctioned, there will be an excuse to crack down the population. I'll give you another example. What's this one say? I've said it in Twitter all day. I'll say it again. Absolutely adore you for giving me joy during this white pill day while my friends weep. Good. Let them weep. I remember vividly when Timothy McVeigh blew up Oklahoma City. Let me get the exact year. I think it was 90. It was 95. He had a truck full of fertilizer. He detonated it, blew up the building. And the next day, let's say next week, maybe it wasn't literally the next day, Bill Clinton is on the air saying, we need to confiscate guns. There were no guns used. It wouldn't have stopped anything. But no. So they will always go for restrictions of freedom, regardless of what the context is. It's always a pretext for them to try to do what they had wanted to do anyway. Oh God, there's a lot of you here. Let me see if I catch up with these. Is this the end of the GOP? No. I'd say all in all, it's probably the least stressful day I've had in some time watching news. Yes. Michael Malice has like high IQ. Deal with it. Okay. What do you think the future for white Americans will be like? I'm not one of these people, guys. We love you, Michael. Thank you for streaming right now. Thank you, Brandon. There's two followers of mine that look identical. You're one of them. Are you the one with the ducks? Because it's both of you look exactly the same. Where is BLM and Antifa who told them to stand by and stand down? Yeah. So if Cernovich's point, and I am speculating here, that this is going to be used as an attempt to crack down during the primaries, Beto O'Rourke is on the stage saying, yes, we're coming for your guns. The other thing is the Patriot Act hasn't really done much in terms of capturing and preventing this kind of stuff. It's not been very efficacious for what it is. Will the following crackdown lead to an armed insurrection? Let me get to that in a second, okay? I hate answering shithole country money. Okay, I'm not going to be able to keep up with like some of these super chats because this is breaking news. So 3,000 people here. Okay, let's. There's several ways. So my point is, they were going to be going for draconian crackdowns already. I don't know how much more draconian you get then don't leave your house. And this is going to be the status quo like indefinitely. In California, they said this. I don't know. You think I know? Can you not answer? I can't think of like 100 ways this could play out. Come on. These things can go several ways, and you know what the answers to all of them are. Do you think celebrities will have a bail fund together for these type of protests? Of course not. You're guys. So you're thinking logically when it comes to power and control. They don't mean what they say, and even if they did, it didn't matter. They're going to latch on to any excuse they have, like masks. The protests were the best example of this. We were told, not unreasonably, that stay in your house. We're going to flatten the curve. If people aren't self-isolating, this is going to spiral out of control. That was not an absurd premise. And then we were told a couple months later, you better take to the streets to protest police brutality. And then it's like, well, you better get in your house. You don't want to be. So it's completely incoherent and nonsensical. What people need to appreciate, in my opinion, is that it is very hard for a ruling elite to maintain its hold on. Oh my God! I got to tweet this out. Today could be like the moment where Ceausescu heard the crowds booing for the first time. A very symbolic illustration, but important one of his weakness. So yeah, for those who don't know, Romania had who I've been writing about in the White Pill. Oh God, there's some who I'm writing about the White Pill, Ceausescu, right? Nicolae Ceausescu. He was really one of the worst of the communist dictators. I know binary thinkers can't wrap their heads around it because all the commies are bad. That's nonsensical. Some are much worse than others. And Romania was one of the worst. North Korea, another one being one of the worst. And there's a clip, you can see it on YouTube. And imagine like this being North Korea, right? It's the closest analog. And he's giving a speech, there's crowds, and he's telling them, go home. And they start booing. And there's this moment where he's like, well, how could it doesn't compute? So you could be, the strength of an elite is heavily based on its ability and its will to impose itself on the masses. So when you have this clown show, like these guys who are intentionally dressed in ridiculous ways, sitting in the speaker's chair, that photo is not a photo of a regime in its prime, a regime that is strength, a regime that has confidence in its values. So I love you too, Rick. Thank you so much. This should be, and the other thing is, for those who didn't follow this, I've not been following it as heavily because it's happening so dynamically. They were storming, or at least entering, state legislatures in different states now. So there is a lot going on. Here's the other thing. Like, let's suppose they lock down DC, which they, I mean, like you know how like it used to be you could walk up to the White House, and like now number 10 Downing Street, you can't even walk on that street. In Washington, you can walk in front of the White House, but you can't drive in front of it. Just step by step, the powers that be are self-segregating from Gen Pop. First of all, they're already not listening to the complaints because these are Nazis. What, I'm going to have to get upset that a white supremacist lost the election? No, I'm glad he's upset. He should be upset. He's a white supremacist. So the more you have this divide, the less of democracy as a steam valve is able to be used effectively. And that means, I think, is this Cernovich? That was Tom Woods. This can go several ways. What I would hope you all take away from it is that how, God damn it, Tom. Why are you blowing up my phone? Okay, great. I'm trying to live stream, but thank you. This will embolden a lot of people. When there is not a reciprocal or disproportionate show of force that is going to allow people to realize we can do this and not get pushback. Let's talk a little bit about the cops. One of the things, and I'm very concerned for the police, I don't want anyone to get hurt. One of the things that happened during Prohibition, and you're not allowed to talk about this, in the same way that 9/11 had some very serious changes in our culture. You can't dispute that. It had very serious consequences for the Afghani people, for the Iraqi people. One of the things that happened, and this isn't an endorsement, was during Prohibition, lots of cops were getting shot. Right? People could have seen this coming, but that's what ended up happening. And as a result of these, cops do the smart thing. They got corrupt. They're like, listen, why am I gonna get hurt to stop this dude from having a beer? What? So the alternative is get shot or take $500 and he gets to have a beer. This is not a hard choice. So when the police refuse to implement these orders, that's when politicians have to save face, be like, oh, it's not as bad as we thought, blah, blah, all this other double talk that they're going to have to do. People talk a lot about how brave the cops are. It's not a fun job. I'm not going to pretend it's a fun job. But it is very hard nationwide to have the police apparatus maintain itself as a Stasi in America when police start getting hurt. Because that gives them an excuse to be like, wait, I'm putting myself in harm's way to fight Thanksgiving? No. And now you have a reason. Now you're not defying it. Now it's like, look what happened to this guy at the Capitol, what happened there. So I think this can go lots of different ways. I've said this before, that Trump is not, they thought Trump was the river, but he was the dam. With Trump out of the way, lots of angry people are going to feel no representation in Washington. I think Joe Biden is not, when Barack Obama was president, lots of urban lefties felt represented. He watched the shows they watched. He went to the colleges they went. Same culture, same background. Biden is not like that. Biden is not someone who reads The New Yorker. So he's not, maybe union people, blue collar people, maybe they feel a bit for him, but he's not going to make very many people feel represented, even on the left, represented in Washington. And that's going to be very, very tricky for them. Okay, let me try to get to some of your questions, if there's any here. So many don't understand the seeds of secession have been constantly in place. Cops didn't protect people in the summer, so this is the result. Yes. Do you think they seized any important documents? I would have no way of knowing. This is the direct result of the cathedral's gaslighting and the direct incompetence of the ruling class. Amen. Okay, we got them coming in. What are the most constructive actions we can do in the micro, not macro sense, in smaller areas around the nation? Or what are the 3 things definitely not to do if that is easier? Keep your mouth shut. Don't start engaging with people so you can pass. I'm going to kill somebody. Those are a couple of the things. I'm not in a position to tell anyone else what to do because it's not up to me to I don't know someone's values. It's very different for me as a bachelor in New York. If you have a family, if you have a business, I have support from my community. So the Malice community, I don't mean my neighborhood. So I have a bit of a freer hand. Militia members are saying for months they asked us what the Patriots were waiting for. This is it. Wow. how bad will 2A be infringed after this? I don't think it will. Because what I've seen from the Republicans in the last couple of years, and I know binary thinkers can't wrap their heads around it, there have been times when they have actually fought. And I'll give you a couple examples. If it had been 2012, Kavanaugh would not have gotten through. They would have folded. And there were the school shooting, remember in Florida, in I'm blanking on the school. I had the girl's name was Meadow. Her dad was on my show. And when that happened with David Hogg and all them, the next day, gun restrictions. And you can understand why. And Mitch McConnell goes, yeah, we're not doing that. So sorry. And they couldn't understand it. It's like, what do you mean? Whenever this happens, we have our excuse and our Republicans have to backpedal. And McConnell was like, yeah, no, we're not. So they were going to try for the AR-15s anyway. They're still going to try. After those riots where the cops stood down and people's buildings were burnt down and they were told, well, you have insurance. This is the voice of the unheard. I think it's going to be almost impossible to push forth gun restrictions. And in fact, I just learned Adrian. Hey, there she is. Oh man, that's a great picture. She's I was just outside, and one of the things I was talking about, I made this prediction. It wasn't much of a prediction. I said, when you have this new right-wing Supreme Court, they're going to start building on the Heller decision and start adjudicating in favor of gun rights, and there will be no legislative recourse for Congress. And people are like, oh, you're crazy, blah, blah, what's going to happen? Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I was outside the Atlantic Terminal here in Brooklyn, and there was a guy in the street selling tasers and pepper spray. Tasers. He was doing the sound. And I'm like, when did this happen? Like, tasers were long illegal in New York. And I go online. I thought maybe there's some kind of loophole, or maybe it's just like a joke, like it doesn't actually hurt, but it just looks cool. The Supreme Court, I believe it was the Supreme Court, struck down laws that made it illegal to have tasers and pepper spray in New York. So it has already started. The Supreme Court is willing to adjudicate in favor of self-defense. So I am, and again, I think we're going to be just further self-segregating. Shauna is always a good follower. What does she say? One thing you can do, use money from your stable job to fund the nuke lodger. I really would, if you're asking me my opinion, what I would tell you to do, I'm dead serious. And this is from my Soviet brain. As far as you can, keep your mouth shut and support people who are doing the fighting. People like me, people like Tim, Alex, there's Mike Cernovich is another great one. There's lots, or whoever you feel is fighting for your values, because the time for conversation is long past. People are looking for heretics. They're looking to cause you and your family harm. They have been emboldened by these lockdowns. So picking fights on social media is going to have a possible high cost and very little benefit. And figure out what gay people did for a long time, because they had to figure out how to pass, and they used code and all this other stuff. And in retrospect, it's obvious, but at the time, no one picked up on it. So this is the kind of situation we find ourselves in as a country. I have never heard so much parental nanny state disapproval in my life from Fox, CNN, MSNBC. I've never felt better. Thanks for your positivity. The thing is, what I try to do when I'm talking about white pilling, when I'm talking about staying positive, when I'm talking about, I'm not doing it like a coach. I'm not doing it like everything's going to be great for everyone. No, that's nonsensical. But I always feel the need that if I see things going in a good direction, I'm going to explain why. This isn't some kind of everything's always going to end up right. No, but I was calling stuff like this was going to happen. It is happening. It's a good thing when a corrupt elite demonstrates its weakness publicly. And if you think, okay, the vast majority of people are ballast, their views are of no value. What matters is, are there enough people who are recognizing the rot for what it is and are willing to fight it? Not literally, but at the very least just stand up against it and be defiant. Just got here. Somebody already asked, what do you think the cathedral will do in response? Or is the next act starting? All bets are off. The next 24 hours are going to be very interesting. My blue pill Dems friends this morning thought McConnell's speech this morning would do the trick. It's. But the thing is, let me explain that to you, CB. Do you appreciate how it is almost impossible to have a conversation with someone like that? And of what will it benefit you? They'll just think you're weird. Like, you have to appreciate like what it's like from their perspective. If you're saying that there's something good about this, it's again, my tweet of like a couple of days ago, this one's very important because I think I nailed it. Talking to blue pill people is like arguing with karaoke. You go to the karaoke bar, there's a bunch of songs to choose from. They each have their own script, the lyrics written out. If you come in and sing any other song, it doesn't make sense. What are you doing? These are the songs to choose from. What do you mean there aren't enough songs? There's a whole book of them. What are you're going to write your own songs in karaoke? It doesn't make sense. That's what it's like to them. They do not know how to port it to what they're used to. Okay. Thank you for streaming. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, I love that beagle. I am the Matrix, baby. Yes, sir. Amen. Average people don't matter. Find the ones that matter. Yes. Are you going to add the Storming the Capitol to your book? I am not. Come join the Henzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu School in the Upper West Side. It's too far, and I was with Hughes. Hughes is the one who beat Hoyce, and I got the play-by-play too. That was really cool, getting it live. Should we assign any credibility to who's we? Do without. You're Canadian. Appreciate. Thank you, Matt. What do you make of? I don't think they're ninnies. I respect all those people. I think it's shocking, and I wouldn't call it pearl clutching. I would guess that they're concerned about what the blowback's going to be, and that's not an unrealistic concern. I love you more, typing dog. Michael, I'm here in D.C., but wasn't the Capitol. I'm jealous of the dude who sat in Pelosi's chair, but I'm not jealous of the woman who shot in the face. Well, why would you be jealous of a woman? Doesn't make any sense. The cathedral will say the most heinous things about us. Yeah, if they're going to call you secessionists and insurrectionists and all this other stuff, you might as well have the good part of it too, right? If you're paying the price. So, okay, hold on a second. This is becoming less about right. Yes, absolutely, Brandon. It's less about right versus left and more about good versus evil. Yes. Do you think Lynn Wood is crazy? I have not been following it that much at all. From all the accounts I've seen, the answer is probably. Doesn't this seem more like V for Vendetta? No. There's not even a fire. No one's hurt, thank God, except for that one woman, which is horrible. Oh, man, someone just sent me $100 on crypto. That's crazy. You people are crazy. Yeah. Going from that excerpt about the Stasi to the antics of the Capitol is a serious emotional shift. Thank you for doing what you do. Yeah, you are welcome. Nebraska sounds Jewish. Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable. Okay. So I don't really have that much here to oh, it's Chase. Hello, Chase. This is it will never not be funny. Do you think we will have a Boston Massacre moment? This isn't me trying to stay safe on YouTube. This is my sincere hope. I desperately hope not, because when things get violent, and I'm a lover of chaos to some extent, it can go south. It's not symmetric. It could go good or bad. The odds are very, very, very heavily that it's going to go in a very bad direction very quickly, either through some kind of authoritarian response or a strongman situation, or just escalating till it's just carnage. So I very much hope not. Can you explain your comment about gay people in code? Sure. So there's several books about this, which is just really fascinating, has parallels to today, which is how do you navigate a larger culture where if members of that larger culture were able to identify you, it could have extremely negative consequences for you as a person. But you also want to be able to recognize other members of this subculture, but in such a way that the normies don't recognize you. So this is what gay people had to navigate for a very long time. And the techniques they used are clever. And these are the techniques people are going to use now in a political context. Like, how do you let that person know you're not in on this whole mask thing, other than obviously not wearing a mask? This is the kind of thing people need to be asking themselves. Do you think Yarvin is right about disengaging completely? Everyone can see everyone. Okay, now that triggered me. If you're saying everyone knows or everyone can see, you are so removed from how the vast majority of people operate. I don't even know where to start. Blue-pilled people perceive the screen as a window. So if they were told that these were heroes, they would cheer them on. If they're told these were the Klan, they will believe it's the Klan. They will sing the song that's on their screen. They cannot see through anything because they don't have the ability to think critically. Ooh, this is a good one. Following election day, my blue pill friend tweeted that better days are ahead. I guess she was right. Thanks for all you do. Is Antifa jealous MAGA had the stones to take the Capitol and get the photo op of sitting in Pelosi's chair? I still can't believe that just happened. There's 11,000 of you here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Good. Thanks, Tom. Okay. If BLM, Proud Boys, Antifa also showed up with Trump supporters take charge, we'd have a more representative democracy than learning the last 50, 150 years. That is not inaccurate, and I love that pick of what was his name on Fresh Prince? Carl something. Carl Winslow. No, that's from Family Matters. Thank you, Matt. Chaos and discourse is much more preferred to physical chaos. Yes, I agree completely. I agree absolutely completely. Sort of off topic, but I'm going to college, but I stopped this semester because it sucked after it went online. I want to start publishing my essays that I wrote. Do you have any advice? You're going to be wasting your time. If you can't pay anyone to pay for one of your essays now, why would they pay for a book? You have to build up your name first. Read the book. Read the book. Come on, read the book. Thanks, Brian. I love your glasses. I'm excited for the Thermidorian reaction. Oh, Frenchie's here. And the following Incroyable and Merveilleuse period of aristocrats led by Malice. Why is Dirty Eastern Europe Euro Simon admin? Oh, I made him admin a long time ago. He got deported. By the way, nice call of Ether run up. Yes. I'm glad I can make you guys some money. Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil died. My question got skipped. If forced to, choose the vaccine or the virus. I'll take the vaccine if forced to. Please unblock me on Twitter. No, I don't know who you are. It'll never happen. It's going much easier than it was for the gays because of the internet. Yep, code is changing. This woman is a smart cookie. Code is changing daily. They literally can't keep up with us, right? And they don't hear language correctly, which is why they call Trump an incel. Everyone now is a grifter or a clown. They just have specific terms that they latch onto without any conceptualization of what the terms actually refer to. Sorry about your iPod. Get yourself a screen protector this time. Okay. Peaceful sit-in. Occupy DC. Yeah. Okay. Are nationalists going to hijack the big igloo? I don't know. I'm in the German student fraternity. I can't do that. I had the accent at one point. Never mind. There's a song that reminds me of the time when we were outlawed. You whistled that tune to show yourself to others. Yeah. Back in the day, what gay men would do, I forgot what this book was in, Gay New York. They would ask someone on the street for a match, like for a cigarette, and then you'd make the eye contact, and then you go to town on each other. This is what democracy looks like. Do, 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 do. I don't know what the IRGC is. Let me look that up. Is it bad that I don't know what that is? The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The odds are 100%. 100%. How would you feel if they burned down the Capitol with legislatures inside? I disavow all such violence. Oh, American Arab Spring. Oh my God. Oof. Wow, I'm going to tweet that out. Man, Arab Spring sure came early this year. Here, hashtag global warming. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I just stole your joke. What do you think about the hard drives that were supposedly taken? I'm not going to hold my breath. Videos show the cops let protesters in the Capitol. It doesn't matter. It'll be spun whatever ways of use to the corporate press. The UK grooming gang scandal provoked a paper by university. Are South Asian men the UK media's new folk devils about racism? Is this a good example of the cathedral at work? This is a clear example of the cathedral at work. It's not a good one because it's them. I'm splitting hairs. I'm sorry to show their hand so obviously. And this is how you code your messages. Politicians being suspended outside the Capitol or burned. I don't. Is this the closest we'll get to seeing tanks in Harvard Yard? No, it isn't. I promise. All of my leftist friends that I follow on Instagram are acting like the government isn't filled with murders and thieves. Okay. Listen, if you have a friend who's in a wheelchair, right? Shove him off a cliff. No. You can't expect him to walk. If they are not interested in politics or only perceive politics in a certain given way, you have to respect their perspective and not expect otherwise. You're only setting yourself up for disaster. I'm going to steal this also. Thank you. That's a great one. I'm old enough to remember when corporate journalists were laughing that not enough Trump people made it to Washington for the inaugural peekaboo. Man, you guys are really delivering today. Where was this can-do attitude when storming Area 51? Exactly. So you think posting on Facebook the quotes about hoisting the black flag and slitting throats is a bad idea? No, because that's a quote. So when things are a meme, it's a little bit different. It's how it's perceived. I am not going to ever advocate violence. I don't think you need to overthrow the government. That's my point. Split the country up is a so much more peaceful way of doing it. How do I learn to code? Love from the UK. Well, stay tuned. I mean, just watch what I do, I guess I could say. People are encouraging Pence to, oh my God, I love this. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is so great. I'm not here. I'm not, you don't send me messages like this. I don't agree. Do the Democrats push forward the package Supreme Court? They're not going to do it. I don't think Biden believes in it. The DC and Puerto Rico is more likely, but there's no way I'm sorry. It's extremely unlikely they're going to try to pack the court. Manchin wouldn't go for it. Leftist friends all licking that jackboot today. Why can't they see that this is the perfect chance for temporary alliance or divorce? Because they're following orders from the TV. Get real. This is the closest you get to tanks in Harvard. Okay. If I told you yesterday there'd be a Viking in Pelosi's chair, you would have said get real. So why are you here? I have nothing important to say. Love your work and looking forward to the White Pill book. It is going swimmingly. I long for anarchy because I love peace. I love 100% of your takes. Thank you for your intelligent and sane perspective in these uncertain times. I am glad that things I am predicting are coming true because that lends credence to the fact that sometimes I know what I'm talking about. And since I am so hopeful, that will encourage people who have lost all hope to accept the possibility that maybe I'm right, certainly on a personal level. Husband is a gamer. Gamers and trolls have one superpower, which is that they do not care about the tool. They'll just pick one up and go, does this work? What about this one? The fire launcher. Exactly. I talk about this in the New Right. Have you taken a look at Lynn Wood's Twitter? He's convinced Antifa stormed the Capitol. I've not seen that. Will there be another Tiananmen Square? I sure hope not. If you mean here, I think it'll be almost impossible. Dave Smith could have stopped this by voting for Joe. Hashtag let her speak. Do you disagree with, where is this? The Viking dude was photoed at a BLM rally in Arizona. Okay. Do you disagree with Sorrell when it comes to violence? Yes. I mean, I think whenever you're, I'm turning this off. People are a pain in my ass. Unless that's, who is it? We got a super chat from Tom Woods. He literally couldn't figure out how to do it. I was actually going to send you some money to answer this question. We believe in secession, but the problem is that within the states, there's massive division. It's not as if terrible people are in one part of the country and these people are another. We're all mixed together in all the states. Doesn't that complicate secession as a solution? Yes. There's no easy divorce. Even in a marriage, you're not going to have an easy divorce. But it's going to be a lot easier than the status quo. And look at Brexit. How long did that take? I always thought Trump would run in 2024. I never thought that was going to happen. Never, ever, ever. I don't understand what is happening here. Okay. There's 15,000 you here. I don't even really know what else to say. Let me look up Drudge. Let's see what's going on right now. Maybe there's been some breaking news. Let's see what's happening here. National Guard moves on the Capitol. MAGA calls for Trump removal escalate. Biden warns sedition. He's sitting in Pelosi's desk. That is hilarious. There was a bomb at the RNC. They say there was a bomb. That is horrible. Ilhan Omar says she's going to drop articles of impeachment. Okay, lady. Very failed super chatter, yeah. Okay. Just move. Okay. Between two kinds of people, trying to build two kinds of consistent worlds, I see no resolution safe through conflict. Well, peaceful divorce, yeah. Just heard someone on news say they were worried that protesters would damage monuments. Well, the Capitol's kind of a monument. There's lots of statues in there. Michael, when someone offers to send you their porn novel for free, you say yes. I'm having my share of porn today on the news. I think it's very fair to say. Brexit is a terrible example of secession. No one asked you. These United States, not the United States. Okay. No, this is good. This is good. They're self-segregating. They're getting more and more out of touch and alienated with the population. That's what you want. Okay. Thank you for everything you do. I can't wait to read your next book. I'll trade you a lock of my hair. Hey, girl. Hey, Ms. Neon. Ego and Huber's like $200 now. I don't have any hanging around at all. Video of cops allowing protesters in. Okay. How many more elections can this country handle? I guess we're going to find out. What happens to our nuclear arsenal in the wake of a breakup? Really, you can't figure out an answer to this? You really seriously? It's like, who gets the dog? There's 3 scenarios. The husband gets it, the wife gets it, or you kill it. Same thing here. What do you make of Kim Jong-un's statement about economic policy? Come on, we're focusing here today. Cowabunga is okay. Technically, all they have to do is sit in until January 20th. This must be one of the best days for your bank account. Not particularly. The best days were when the crypto was booming. Yes, great point. Blue-pilled responses by conservative media made it very clear that Republicans and Trump supporters are very different people. You skipped me again. Yep, there's a lot going on here, Greg. There's 15,000 people. Smile and nod. Why? Your liberal friend is telling you this is democracy versus treason. Smile and nod. What is the upside of arguing with this person? Answer me. What is the upside? What will Trump do in the final 2 weeks of his presidency? I have no idea. Did you see this coming today? I didn't. Do you think there will be crackdowns on seditious speech? And what will be the response? Yes, they tried this in 2016. They're going to keep trying it. The thing is, what can you do when technology lets you say whatever you want? Buy Bitcoin. Can't get enough of the chats you and Lex have had. Can't wait to see more. I have my next 2 outfits picked out, and they're going to be so good. Michael, what do you like the most about Tom Woods? Like, this is going to sound corny, but this is the word that encapsulates it. His soul, because it's so good-natured and also intelligent, and like he's such a great person in every context. So I think that would be my answer there. Yep, I saw this. This is what Alex was referencing the second time we were on with Tim. Boogaloo memes were a good example of code. Yeah, this is a great example. But the problem with that is there's all these like Right Wing Watch and places like that whose job it is to decode this stuff, and they often do it very incorrectly. Like the OK symbol was white supremacy, so it's kind of a tightrope. Tim Pool's been a dim fool, has been a black pill buffet recently. Do you think he's catastrophizing, short-sighted, or has legitimate points? Tim is a very smart cookie. He is very informed. He's also extremely receptive. I've turned him significantly again in the anti-cop direction since I was there. So if I would very much listen to what Tim has to say. Hold on a second. Okay. Tom is right. People are mass migrating to areas they feel comfortable culturally, and is cultural, not political. Also, it's going to be hell for the cathedral to try to assert Hamala. Yeah. Congratulations on 16K watching. How does someone who enjoys what's happening in DC talk to people who hate it? Do not do it. They do not understand you, and they will think of you basically like a softcore pedophile. You're some complete abomination to their entire worldview and are a threat to their children. Do not open your mouth. Who's your favorite protest character from today's event? So it's got to be the Viking guy. I don't know who else there is. They stormed CNN already. And, it was whatever. No one cared. How much do you deadlift? I'm finally back up to 3 plates. Okay. Mainstream conservatives saying we must protect the establishment, protect our Constitution. Even many Trump voters genuinely don't get it. Listen, I'm not trying to be edgelord here, but if you were expecting many Trump voters to get it, you were going to be very disappointed. I assure you. Is Tim going to make it to DC with the insanity? And do you think the curfew beginning in the next 12 minutes will be enforced, and how? There's a curfew in 6 o'clock. Oh my God, this just gets better. Ooh, now you get to see the look of joy in my face. Oh my God. Texas, New Mexico, and California buildings are surrounded. Georgia Capitol. Protesters inside the Kansas State House. Man. This is amazing. This is amazing. Coworkers were legit panicking around my office. I was channeling my inner Dr. Menace. Yeah, go to the bathroom and speed one off. Can I call you my friend? No, especially with the name spelled like that. Shithole spelling. Do you think this may be the spark that causes others to rise up? It is certain. No, I don't think it's going to be a spark, because that's like something goes out of control. It's certainly data to be like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm not the only one who thinks this way. We got 315 deadlift at what body weight? I'm 97 pounds. We got to get those deadlift numbers up, brother. Best thing to keep you alive in the apocalypse is some strong legs. My legs are vascular and superb, and my calves have now grown a ridge. This isn't the boog, but this is also, I don't think, a one-off, especially when if they're going to try to do these lockdowns again, which they are. Let me get my drink. So many red pills being dished out today. I love the chaos. Hope to see more of it. I hate chaos. It's the worst. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Oh my God. For another 10 minutes that I'm gonna bounce. Expecting a coercive session of California Mother Nature 21 is the finale of this act. Malice is right. I read that even Dietrich Bonhoeffer had to occasionally seek Heil while trying to undermine Hitler. Is New York City worth moving to right now? No. 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 Make no mistake, there are millions of veterans who are red-pilled by the murder of the Weavers, Waco, Duncan Lemp. They do not shy away from extreme measures. Well, that is a concern. Not opening your mouth is the code. Like you said, animals in distress cry out looking for their pack. The easiest way to find a good guy is finding those not howling. Yes, there's virtue signaling, and there's also distress signaling, anguish signaling, excuse me. If you weren't freaking out about Trump being elected, you know that that person is, even if they're left, that they're sane and can be talked to. Why do you think the left have never been able to storm the Capitol? I don't think this is the right left thing in the way. I just found out I can't buy Bitcoin in New York. Can you invest half of this for me? Just kidding. Oh, okay. Freshwater aquascaper. Should I get into saltwater? No. Aquascaping is really nice. You can't have it's so much harder with corals than with plants. Which aquarium type is red pilled? What? Come on. Is there any similarity from today with Matthias Rust landing in Red Square? The Pelosi office picture has similar vibes. I think it's early to see how this is all going to play out, but it sure seems like it's going to play out in a intriguing way. I guess they're stopping the steal. I'm just going to tweet that out. I guess they stopped the steal. Woo! Will Nightshade return? No. Where is the coral hiding? There was no coral. I am a Navy veteran. The Viking guy is hilarious. I think so too. I think so too. Ugh, this is awful. The woman who got shot just died. That's awful. Michael, you were the only individual who get me to turn off Kumia's show and switch to your live stream. Thank you for everything you do, brother. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate the support. I watched 5 streams at once, so she's got good makeup. Notice how surprised protesters were when they made it to the Capitol. They just looked around at all the cool stuff. Well, yeah, they were looking for people to lynch because they're all white supremacists. Um, Washington was right. Political parties should have remained illegal. Read his farewell address. You know who wrote that farewell address? Alexander Hamilton. And you know what I'm looking at right now? A piece of Hamilton's hair, which I have framed on my wall. This is a. I don't think that quote is accurate to Franklin, but this is a very common quote. I was told the revolution would not be televised. What are the odds that this is a one and done, or do they storm again tomorrow? I don't know. I don't see how this ends now. Who's going to calm them down and make them feel heard? The boomers are too ADHD and dumb to sustain this and get things done. Also, Pence is a wuss. Frank the Tank. I don't think this is the boomers doing it. Hey guys, remember Pete Buttigieg? I love you too, Martin. Bitcoin the protests, will it go to the moon? I mean, crypto is a lot better than fiat money at this point, certainly. You are the Joker US needs, and you are the Joker US deserves. Screen cap that one. You can Photoshop it. I'm thirsty. Okay, I got this. Chickens enjoy roosting. Yes, sir. Absolutely. My notifications are completely out of control. Completely. Thank you for helping me expand my thinking. Well, thank you, Lon. Awesome seeing you on the Lou Perez. Oh, you're going to be very happy with an appearance I'm doing in the near future, Maverick. You'll see. Can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve in future appearances. Yeah, trust me, you are going to be ecstatic. The MAGA crowd looks boomer heavy. Okay. This is not the extent of the situation. Who's there in DC right now? Do you think a foreign country will take advantage of the situation? No, I think this is neocon agitprop that as soon as we're weak, we're going to get invaded by China. Now, certainly China is going to do whatever they can to push their advantage in any situation. That's indisputable. But I don't think it's the kind of thing where they're going to that's not a big concern. Is the shot that hit the lady today going to be the one that is heard around the world? I know, because I think she was killed by the cops. It seems like the raid is overhyped by the media. Am I off? The footage I've seen seemed tame. To what end does the media stoke the flames of unrest? Because they have to tell Gen Pop that all these people are going to storm your school and your house, so they need to be put down with great force. A 90s milk commercial taught my generation that Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton. Leche con carne is not kosher. That's true. It's not. Are you going to move into Tim's bunker? I want in. I have lots of ammo, trade skills, and weapons training. Oh, no. When I move in there, it's going to be my bunker. Did you see Moldbug's latest appearance on Thad Russell's podcast? I don't listen to any podcasts like ever, so I have not seen that. Venezuelan sister-in-law comparing Trump to Chavez. Okay. Why are you talking to a broad about politics anyway? Is Jim Acosta safe? That is the real question. That is the real question of the day. Okay, I'm gonna bounce in another 2 minutes. Was watching PBS earlier, giggling like a child how flustered and shook the anchor seemed, stumbling over every other word. They have lost control of the mic. Height is excellent, Poofy. Um, how do you think today's events will touch people whose lives have been virtually unchanged by the pandemic? I don't know if there is anyone whose lives have been virtually unchanged. I don't know what do you mean by that? Everyone's had to deal with this nonsense that they're putting us through. So, yeah, I don't. Tim's bunker becomes the Malice Palace. Yeah, it's there will be fealty and a tithe. Okay, what would Dr. Steve Brule say about all for this? I can't do my Steve Brule impression right now. Have you read about Josiah Warren? Is it worth it? Yes. Just joined local, super fun there. Yes, it's a very good community that I'm very proud of having built and being a part of. And we've got 13,000 members so far. Malice.locals.com. Hey, Michael, love the work. Hate to go off topic, but I would like to start my own business. Any advice for starting? No, I don't have advice. I would think this is the worst possible time. No, but I'm not a businessman either. Asking my locals. There's lots of business owners there. They'll be able to give you good advice. Just what ego. Is it really $300 now? Let's look on Amazon. Okay, Amazon. It's going for. There's one for 300. Yeah. Wow. Jesus Christ. I guess when I do my graphic novel, I'll do a limited number edition. It'll be a good investment for people. Is violence the only answer left? No. If the police aren't enforcing this stuff, it's irrelevant. Okay, I'm going to bounce. Sorry, there's 17,000 of you here, but I hope I've given you some perspective on the events of today. And I will Friday night, I got a live stream with Hotep Jesus, so there'll be a lot to discuss then. Stay safe and stay sane. You are welcome.